Alright guys, we're going to be doing a full walkthrough of the new zombies map. It's going to be a long one. I'm going to try to get every step. This might not be in the most efficient order ever. It might not be, every single step of the way, but there's some points where you just got to grind computers and money. You don't need to see that. I'm just going to show you the important parts. Alright, so it's about to start. The first thing you're going to want to do is just run to the left and activate this portal. Alright, because the waves are ticking up automatically by default. Doesn't matter if you kill one zombie, if you kill all the zombies, the waves are going. Alright, so you gotta press this ASAP, you wait 30 seconds, and then you go through. Once you've done that, you pretty much just go to the next area and just make your way to the next portal. You don't have to press any buttons or do anything. You just buy the doors. Alright, so this, again, something you don't need to see. It's just us killing zombies, getting the money to go through this next portal. Right? So this next area, stage 3, whatever you want to call it, part with the arcade, this is where you need to pay attention. So there's 3 doors you can go through. You want to go through this middle one, the one that I'm pinging right here, because you're going to have to open that anyways for one of the next steps. So make sure you buy this one first. Alright, you can buy other ones, you can buy the arcade, you can buy other doors, but you need to buy this door first. The reason for this is that the next step after this is going to be to activate another portal, and you have to find these parts in these 4 buildings. That was the first one that you just saw. The second one's over here in the movie theater, right here. There's one in the arcade, and then there's another one closer in the hamburger store. This part's all fairly self-explanatory. It gives you markers exactly what you need to do and where to go. You just have to find these big yellow outlined objects. So that's why I'm not, slowing it down and giving you a play-by-play. It's relatively easy to find what you need to do here. Until you get to the Pack-a-Punch, you can pretty much do this on your own. So you build the portal, go through the next area, you pay $1,500 for this next door, and you can go through the portal. You have to fight the first mini-boss. That's what you want to call it. So you come over here, like I said, you get this door, but again, it's fairly self-explanatory. It gives you markers. You come over here, the boss spawns, you shoot him in the mouth whenever it glows to do bonus damage, you kill him. Whatever do you need to do. Then once you kill him, you can go through the portal. Some doors are open that we'll talk about later. And once you go through, you now have the Pack-a-Punch room. There's zip lines up there to access other areas of the map easier. There's the task station, all that good stuff is up here. Once you're up here, though, you want to come over here, press this button, then go on back over here on this wall, press this button, it'll activate a cutscene. I skipped the cutscene because I've seen it like 4 or 5 times at this point, but there's a cutscene. So at this point, you can do these next couple of steps in pretty much any order you please. You just need to make money and do some steps while you're waiting for a bit. So what I like to do, what I find the fastest, is a step you don't have to wait on at all. Is you come into this room that opened once you went through this portal in here. You come in here, this is in the bunker, the particle accelerator. In this corner, there's something you need to get the abomination to ram into the wall. It drops. I wasn't there when it happened. But trust me, you go into that corner, you'll see the big bell or whatever it is up in the corner. Get into charge just like that into the bell, and you knock it down, you get it. If you want to multitask like we do, then you go ahead, and if you can get him to shoot his lightning and hit a crystal, that's another step in the process you can just knock out real quick. So the next thing you're going to want to do is come over to this area, to this donut shop. There'll be a meteor here at this time. You have to wait a few rounds for this to spawn. That's why I tell you to go do other things first. This is in what I like to call the second area. It's the one after you spawn. There's Juggernog here, stamina up, and quick revive if you don't know where this is. And so you go stand on that little asteroid rock in there, and it spawns a bunch of zombies. But just survive. Don't go too far from the shop. I don't know what the actual limitation is range wise, but as long as you stay close enough and kill all of the bosses and zombies that spawn, the shield that's around this crystal will go down, and then you can pick that one up. So at this point, you should have had enough computers to buy a flamethrower from the workbench. If you don't, grind out and get some more points to get a flamethrower. You can use other things, with flamethrower is the best way to go. You see that fire zombie that's coming up over the railing now? You need to flamethrower him, right? Works best. We'll drop another crystal. So there you go, now you have all 3 parts to build the Wonder Weapon, and you pretty much need this to progress. So from here, make your way over to the particle accelerator, the bunker, whatever you want to call it. It's the one before the Pack-a-Punch tower. There's this little thing over here that just has liquid in it. You need a knife, specifically knife. Kill 10 zombies here. You see the little purple essence will fly into it. So you do that, you get that done with, and then the Wonder Weapon will spawn. So pick that up. Next thing you're going to want to do, again, this is a step that you don't have to do in any particular order. You could have done this already. You can wait longer to do this. But you need to go ahead and do the step with these fuel tanks. And so what you're going to want to do is you and a friend need to both press the button at the same time if you're playing with a friend. If you're playing by yourself, you just press the button. Essentially, you just gotta survive in this circle for like a minute. You can't get out. A bunch of zombies spawn. Typical stuff. They fill up, the shields drop, zombies stop spawning. You're good to go. You completed this step. Now, don't forget to grab the part, right? There's no obvious part here that you see while doing this. It kind of just drops without a noise or any indication that it dropped. It drops right in the middle of the tanks. It's big, so it's not hard to find, but you can definitely miss it if you just run off and go on to the next step without knowing it's going to be there. Next, and these aren't hard to find, and again, you could have done these already, you can do them later, doesn't really matter, right? Once you activate the Pack-a-Punch and the particle accelerator, you can pretty much do most of these steps in any order you want, alright? So, these crystals spawn, right? And they have these little orbs flying around them. You need to shoot those orbs, okay? Once you shoot those orbs, then you can destroy the main crystal. I'm pretty certain you have to use the wonder weapon for this, but I'm not 100% sure. But make sure you go ahead and do that. There's 3 spawns for these crystals. One is here in the what I call second area, again with Juggernog and Stamina Up and Quick Revive right after the spawn area. There's this one. There's one in the spawn area, and then there's one in the particle accelerator. Not in the area before the portal, but when you first come in. Alright, you destroy them, and then what you're going to get is these tactical grenades, and they're little just like rocks from the crystal. The abomination spawns, you throw him in his mouth, his tail will start to glow orange like that, and then you shoot him. When he dies, he drops a crystal. You're good to go. Go do it 2 more times. Right? Again, at the spawn one, and then at the particle accelerator. Now you've done all of those steps, you're solid. Next, you want to head over to the 3rd stage, or the one before the particle accelerator, the one with the fuel tanks. And so you're going to need one of your guns to have I think it's called Dead Wire, the lightning gun ammo mod on it. You want to sit next to this Activision Grand Prix machine right here, shoot the zombie with the electrified gun, and then play the game for 2,000. I do this quite quickly, but you take the RCXD, you go out the door of the arcade, you go across the street to the TV store. Alright, my driving's awful, I know. Alright, you come in here, the little EMP blast, take out the vent, you drive in, you come in this little cubby right here, jump up and explode. Then you get out of the game, run over to the TV station. Alright, this works best if you've thinned out most of the zombies for the round. And this little window, there's the TV, you're solid, you're good to go. You've done 99% of the steps at this point. So from here, you want to go back one area to where Juggernog and all of that stuff is. There's a workbench here that you can only use to build this final part. If you've been trying to use this the whole game and you can't, it's because you have to use it to build the final piece of the Easter egg. Right, you build it and it has to like charge, so just stay here and kill some zombies. You can get armor or anything else you might need. Something while we're waiting for this to charge, you might want to know some good tips. If you're playing with friends or a friend or more than one person, there's the way to get the Easter egg like we showed earlier, but then you can also get it like with every other map in the mystery box or by doing trials. I did, I think, 3 legendary trials or 4 to get it. I went to the mystery box 6 times and I never got it. And then there's an arcade game where you get tokens from killing zombies around the map. You put the token in and you can play a little arcade game to get it. I never got it from that. I think I tried that 2 or 3 times. So once this is charged up, you hit activate like I just did. And it starts this little bubble. Alright. And so that orange liquid inside of the ball is its fuel level. Okay, and so when that gets low, as you see it's draining here, you go run out and you need to get these crystals. When you're outside of this force field, you're going to take damage like how I am here. Zombies are going to be spawning. You shoot the crystals, melee, and whatever you want to do. Pick them up, bring them back, recharge it. You got to do this all the way to the door. Now, I've done this twice now, completely, because I played it once, and then beat it on my 2nd try, and then did this recording, speed run kind of, my 3rd try, right? And so, the first successful run we had, we did not need many crystals. We maybe used 5 or 6 crystals, right? We didn't need that many. We just got there relatively easily. On this attempt that you see here, we had to use almost every single one, right? And they're scattered. They're on top of ladders, behind these railings, all over the place, right? And I don't know if it just depends. It's just luck of the draw, RNG. At the rate at which the fuel declines, I have no idea. But we were really cutting it close on this one. So you just have to walk with it the whole way and keep filling it up over and over again. So once you walk it to the end, the zombie stops spawning, it kind of just like falls over, and this is it. Buy anything you need to buy, perks, ammo, kill streaks, armor, pack a punch, anything you need to do here, do it. Once you go up to the door and activate it, you're in the final boss fight. You can't buy anything else, right? So I recommend buying a chopper gunner, right? Self-revive, pack a punching, all that good stuff, getting any perks you can get. Everything you're gonna need. If you're on a relatively low wave like we are, we're on wave 19 here when we beat it, it's not gonna be that hard, especially if you have the wonder weapon, which you pretty much have to do it. But if you're on the higher waves, like when you get up there into like the 30s and stuff, it can get a bit more challenging. But again, wave 19, you can probably get it lower than this, because we spent some time trying to get footage for the walkthrough. I had to do everything, but if you're playing with multiple people and everyone's speedrunning and everyone's doing different steps at once, you can definitely get this in less than 19 waves. As you come up here and you got a hold X on the door, the prompt is really crappy. It's in the middle of the door and the left of the door, right of the door. Just find the prompt and hold X, alright? You're in the boss fight now. Big boy, spoilers by the way, I should have said that in the beginning. So he has armor, as you can see. Right, his shoulders are the first 2 locations of his armor. You shoot the big purple ass crystals as if it wasn't obvious enough to take out his armor, and then you can finally actually do damage. The way to do damage is stand underneath the glowy lady and you kill the zombies in the zone. It charges her up just like 99% of the other charging zone things and zombies. Right, once she charged up, she'll power up a cannon, and then you shoot the cannon, and this is important, at the zone you weakened. So here, his armor is his shoulders. You need to shoot his shoulders. Your screen is shaking a whole bunch. You can't see anything, but luckily he doesn't move. So just aim for his shoulder and press RT, and you're done. You're gonna hit him. Right? Now you have to charge her up again. Go shoot the other shoulder. You're done with part 1 of the boss fight now. Part 2, it's the same thing you just did. He has armor now, so you need to shoot his stomach. That's the second weak spot, right? And this, if you don't know what you're on, try shooting one of the other weak spots. If it does no damage, then you're shooting the wrong one, right? You shoot the stomach, do the maximum amount of damage. You can use chopper gunners. This is why I recommended buying chopper gunners, because you can just spray down his armor like this. I'm doing here. You just pleat his stomach armor. You charge up Max, whatever her name is, Max, whatever, Scarlet Witch, and freaking you get in one of the cannons, and you shoot his stomach, right? Good to go. On to the third step. Part 3, again, giant purple crystals, it's obvious. And you can charge up the lady first before you take out the armor, it really doesn't matter. But the next weak spot is his head. You shoot his head until he has no armor, and then you get in the cannon, and you shoot him in the head, and you're done. You did it, good job. Now one final thing, you do just die at the end. So you didn't lose, you did it, you're supposed to die. Don't rage quit and throw your Xbox or whatever. Dude, this is supposed to happen. Alright, because I was quite upset. I thought we failed, dude. We did something wrong. We're gonna have to do this all over again. But no, you're supposed to die. Even if you don't get hit, you just fall over and die. But what you do, you'll beat it. That's it. You beat zombies. You're done with Cold War zombies. You've completed it. Under 15 minutes, complete walkthrough. And I'll see you guys on the next one.